Many of the thoroughbreds that you see on the racetrack and so forth and out in the fields, you'll believe, well, there's a white horse and there's a white horse. But most of them are gray. Even if it looks white, it's a gray. We started in the white thoroughbred business, you might say. Quite by accident, but it just is something that we've really been involved in now for several years. My wife Burva fell in love with the idea of these white horses, and also my daughter Valerie is just so involved in this. It's been a very much a family affair with us. The white thoroughbreds are very unusual, and it's just a very rare gene.
In the 120-year history of the Jockey Club, and an estimate over 2.1 million thoroughbreds that have been registered, only 149 have been registered as white. The very first white thoroughbred that was registered with the Jockey Club was White Beauty, foaled in 1963.
Patch and Wilkes certainly was the first farm that really brought this to attention to everyone. And they've got one fantastic line of horses. There are, I think, 3 families of horses that have been able to throw, we'll say, this dominant white gene. The line that we have came from a horse by the name of Airdrie Apache. And Airdrie Apache was raised at Airdrie Stud, which was owned by our previous governor, Branton Jones. University of California in Davis is the main university that does a lot of research on the genetics. UC Davis has been studying our herd of horses now for quite some time. And they're just on the brink of really understanding where this all came from and how it appears. And they've been able to isolate the dominant white gene in the other 2 families, but of Airdrie Apache, they're still scratching their head. Our mares came from Daleen Knight from Oregon. She owned Airdrie Apache for most of his breeding career. We have several mares that have a lot of black or brown markings on them.
You know, strictly based on coat color, those thoroughbreds would be recognized as white. The requirement in order to be registered as white with the Jockey Club is that the coat color must be predominantly white, and that includes the legs, the coat, and the face.
Arctic Bright View, we bought him as a weanling, and again, we bought him from Daleen. You know, he's been a life changer for us. When I saw this colt, you know, I've been buying horses for many years for a lot of different people. I've trained thoroughbreds now for some 30 years. I do know a little about conformation and attitude and trainability and the way a horse moves and things like that. And when I saw him, we just fell in love with him, and hence here we are. The rarity is just amazing. I mean, you look at this horse and realize there's only maybe 3 or 4 pure white thoroughbred stallions in the world, and he's one of them. And I always thought that this horse is so different that there should be some other avenues for him to go. And we had no clue about movies or anything like that. Rex Peterson called me. Rex was the head wrangler, and he was involved in Flicka, Black Beauty, the Horse Whisperer, Secretariat. So he came with a long list of credentials. And he said that he was very interested in looking for a white horse and so forth. And at that time, we had no idea why or what it was for, whether or not he wanted a horse for a commercial or whatever. Originally, he was working with Disney, and they wanted to buy him. We were flattered that they were interested in our horse, you know. I didn't want to lose this horse. I just told him that we weren't really interested in selling the horse. Then Disney called back, and they said that we'd like to lease your horse. And I said, that's exactly what I had in mind, and let's do it. We sent the horse to Rex, and he'd tell us how he was progressing as we went along. We'd get a few videos from him. Then, of course, the movie came along, The Lone Ranger. And then it all kind of clicked why Rex wanted him and why it was so important that he be a white stallion. The perception when you have a movie like this is that there is one horse that's doing everything. Some horses are better suited for one thing than they are the other. As we went along, we kept asking, well, just what is our horse going to do in the movie? And the patent reply was that we can't tell you. So we were basically in the dark about what he did. And to this day, Disney's not going to tell you what he did. There were several times in the movie when I would have said that yeah, there he is. I'll just leave it to the imagination of the public when they see our horse and when they see the movie. Let's see if we can put two and two together. They took good care of him. He came back in beautiful shape. He thinks he's hot stuff now, you know. Equine Affair is one of the largest expositions of all breeds of horses in the country. We were approached by them to bring him up as a celebrity horse. We were very happy to do that, and we were asked to bring him out once a day and just tell what he did and about the gene a little bit and just talk to the audience. A lot of children came up there wanting their picture taken with this white horse and with Eddie, the Lone Ranger. And so we had a lot of fun with that. And the horse has a temperament, disposition that just allows you to do that. We just enjoy having him. The kids love him, and he's got a great following. And it's just been wonderful how important these horses really are to people. And that's what the white horse is all about, right?